Things Taeler vlog. I promised you guys I would do these more, so here I am. I am super excited. I got a haircut that I didn't do myself for once, but I did have to, you know, fix it because it wasn't exactly the way I wanted it. But I am sporting bangs again, and I am super excited. I feel like I am, you know, bringing out my hippie, witchy, gypsy, macabre, Stevie Nicks vibes, and I'm super stoked about it. I have not had bangs since I debuted at Impact Wrestling. Baby Taeler, yes, I am super excited. I don't know, it's fun, it's fringy, it's edgy, it's wicked. A brand new episode of my podcast, Talks with Taeler Hendrix, airs tomorrow on russosbrand.com, so be sure to check that out. You do not need a long-time contract. You can do month-to-month basis, and it pretty much costs you less than a large grande cup of coffee per month. Pretty awesome. You get my podcast, the Beautiful People podcast, Vince Russo's podcast, Shane Douglas, Stevie Richards, Stevie Ray, and so much more, including Goldilocks, my girl. So I'm super excited. I have had some sightings recently of Poppy the owl that we rescued. Really awesome. I think she has a mate. I've seen her with another owl, so I'm very excited that we were able to help her out and give her the rest and healing time and some food, and she was able to get on her way and get back to her nest, so I'm super excited about that. My rescue kittens officially turned 2. They turned 2 on the 19th and 20th, Slayer's kittens, that I helped give birth to. I was pretty much Slayer's doula, my cat. You know, she wanted me there with her, and it was really cute because most female cats aren't like that. And, you know, I had to help her with the birth sacs and stuff because she was so exhausted. Her first baby came out on May 19th. And the next, at about 9:30 in the morning, and her second kitten didn't come out until about 10:30 at night. And then at that point, it was like one every like 45 minutes to an hour. She had 6 total kittens, so she was just so exhausted by the end of it, and she was having contractions like the entire time between 9:30 a.m. through, I think the last kitten was born at like 4 something in the morning. So I was up that whole time with her. So it was really cool to see them just be so happy and healthy. I think the only thing I would change about them turning 2 this year was the fact that, you know, Slayer got out and she's still not back home. She's in the area. People have seen her, but nobody seems to like figure out where she goes and hides when we can't see her. So I still have hope. Fingers crossed. You guys have been, you know, sending out those good vibes. I think they're working. So I just would love her to be back home. You know, she was the first cat I rescued after my cat that I had for 18 years died. I took care of him for a very long time. I don't know if people know this, but he used to need fluids. So before like every Ring of Honor loop and independent wrestling loop that I would do when he was still alive, he was almost 20 years old. I had a fluid bag with the syringe, the thing that connected to the syringe, and I would have brand new syringes and I have to put him on. It's like subcutaneous fluids, and I would have to give him fluids because he had kidney disease, and it helps with the digestion, helps with the kidneys and stuff, and his other vital organs. And so I would have to string that bag up and like literally give fluids to my cat under his skin, and his body would absorb fluids. I would have to do that before every like Ring of Honor and independent wrestling loop. A lot of people don't know that. So like before I would head to the airport, or before I would start the road trip, I would make sure that my cat had all his meds and his fluids and everything. He was so amazing. Beautiful, amazing cat. So Slayer, I named her Slayer because number 1, she was a badass, and you know, one of my favorite bands is Slayer. But number 2, I just feel like she slayed. Like she has such an amazing story. Some people saw her fleeing from those fires that came through like the Malibu area a couple years ago, and she was a kitten herself. She was probably only like 6 or 7 months old, and she had this giant belly apparently, and they said it was like she had like saddlebags, and she was like running away from the fires. Apparently she was pregnant with 8 babies in there, which is just crazy because like she was a baby herself. And so some volunteers rescued her, and she got transferred to several different facilities, and somehow she ended up in my life with 2 of her babies, and then she was already pregnant by the time that I got her, and I didn't know. And so then I ended up with all these rescue babies. So it's amazing. They had their 2nd year and 3rd year birthdays. So speaking of anniversaries, the 1-year anniversary of my first children's book is coming up in a couple days. I'm super excited. I may or may not be on Vince Russo's podcast to talk all about it. I just feel so incredibly blessed to share this news with you guys. You know, since I wrote that first book, It's Not Easy Being a Sloth, I wrote 2 other ones, and now I'm working on 3 more. I feel just so many creative juices just flowing, and I don't know, sometimes it's overwhelming, but then other times it's like, I got this. Not all superheroes wear capes. Yeah! So I'm just very, very, you know, I feel very excited and blessed because you guys have been so amazing through this whole thing. And I cannot wait to share some of the adult books. Like I announced on Twitter, I'm working with a first-time author named R.C. Harris. And we're writing a fantasy book that has like magic and, you know, dragons and languages and fairies and all kinds of really cool stuff. So I'm like really excited about that. And then I'm writing a book based on wrestling. I'm writing my 4th and 5th children's books in my series. And then I'm also writing this like psychological thriller book. And I'm flirting with like a horror series that I've been very like thinking about for quite a while. So I have so many projects I'm working on, including my podcast, and some motivational speaking appearances, which I just did one, and it was so much fun. I'm so crazy busy, and I feel really happy because my birthday is coming up, and I don't know, I feel better than I ever have been. And that's crazy because people usually say like the older you get, you know, it's all downhill from there. But I don't know, ever since I turned 30, life turned around and has been so amazing, and you guys have been so amazing right along with me. I never would have thought it would be possible, honestly. You know, a few years ago, it was just so negative and down and out, and I felt so alone. And then all of a sudden, fast forward a couple years, and I honestly feel like I have the most savage, loyal, awesome, and positive fan bases. Like, you guys called yourself the Taeler Army, and I really do see you guys that way. You guys are so savage and awesome, and I feel like we literally do have the best fan base out of anybody in pro wrestling. It's so crazy. Like, people used to say like I don't know, I just think it's just so crazy, and I like that. In my own way, I like to give back to you guys with interacting with you, but also with like the things that I do. I also feel like it's an honor of you guys, you know, my podcast, this YouTube channel, my cameos, and, you know, my cooking segments, and my new talk show, and my books, and my motivational speaking. It's like, I don't know, everything I ever wanted to do for my life that I wrote down when I was 13 years old, I've either done it or I'm on my way to doing it. And I just want to bring that energy to everything that I do. You know, I just feel so jazzed and wicked stoked. Gotta bring out the Boston every once in a while, yo. I'm wicked stoked. So I hope this finds you guys well. Since it's Monday, I wanted to throw a little bit of Motivation Monday at you guys because I'm all about that. I want to help be a part of someone else's survival guide. You are allowed to be both a work in progress and an inspiration to others. So don't be worried about perfection. Don't be worried about circumstances. Your circumstances do not define you. You define your circumstances. So, you know, just find ways to be inspired. And I hope that you guys, you know, really took to heart my quarantine challenge with doing little things to make brand new habits to get you coming out of quarantine better than how you went into it. So I hope that you guys are feeling all the love, and remember, do not judge your level 1 to somebody else's level 100. You know, if you guys are wrestling fans, just know Shawn Michaels wasn't Shawn Michaels the first day he got into a ring. Sasha Banks wasn't Sasha Banks when she first did her first day in wrestling. You know, Gordon Ramsay wasn't Gordon Ramsay the first day he set foot into a kitchen. You know, everybody starts somewhere, you know? So find something that you love, that you're good at, and go after it. If there's anything I've learned in life that I really stress in my children's books that I think adults can learn from just as much as kids, is that small minds kill more dreams than the act of people pursuing their dreams. Even if you fail, failure is a necessary step to success. You know, failure is a part of success. You cannot be afraid to fail. The people that are afraid to fail are the people that don't end up living life to the fullest, and then they have so many regrets later on. Don't be one of those people whose life is full of regrets. I've worked in nursing homes. I've seen what regret looks like. I've been a teacher, so I've seen teachers tell children what they can and can't be when they grow up. You know, I've seen it all. I've met people from all over the world, And this is something that I can say and honestly live by. Be free with your authenticity. Don't be afraid to suck at something new, and stop judging yourself and comparing yourself to other people. Their journey is not your journey, because you are not that person. You are you. And that is your superpower, because there's only one you. That makes you so unique. You are a limited edition of one. So don't be afraid about being a work in progress. You should always be a work in progress until the day you die, because that means you're always doing something in your living life. So I hope that you guys will enjoy this ride with me, and I cannot wait 1 year from now, 6 months from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, hearing from you guys saying that you did it and you accomplished it. I can't wait. Talk to you guys soon.